Hello everybody, welcome. This is my new Octatrack video. I haven't been here in a while and I'm back and I'm really excited to be back first of all, and I'm also really excited to do this video as I feel it might be helpful for a couple of people, but also like combining with what I've been up to, and also something that helped me a lot just recently when I was talking to some friends and producers and performers about how they approach the Octatrack for live performances in a more unconventional setting, because so far I have been focusing more on playing with the triggers, and also more with the sequencer, and like really being in the track and in the triggers and in the notes. And it felt for me at one point that it was becoming very, very challenging to navigate and to practice. And sure, it can be done, but for some reason I felt I wanted to explore another way, another alternative maybe, also exploring more of an improvisational approach rather than having all of the tracks with the triggers fixed and then, just rehearsing like when to change to which part and when to change to which scene. And I've been doing this and it works and it's cool, but yeah, I was curious to try something else, and my background is something more improvisational based, like my electric bass player coming from the jazz world. And in a way, the last years I've been quite attracted to the sound of ambient and also performing ambient, and also curious about how to make ambient, and also the question about what is ambient for me and what is this feeling I get when I listen to ambient, and what is good ambient and what is ambient that resonates more with me. And I've been going quite deep, and I've just released a 1-hour set with original music on Fade Radio in Athens, and I was invited by my friends. Shout out to my friends from His Dark Elements, and they invited me to provide a set, and I took that as a motivation to go really deep into how I would like to perform and create ambient. And it actually made me go away from this way of performing or way of playing the Octatrack like I used to, like, having all the kicks and the hi-hats and the muting and changing patterns and switching scenes. And I was talking to more and more people who have the Octatrack, and I was quite interested to perform a more loop-based idea. So I got really into what are loops for me and what can loop-based ambient sound like. And for me, a couple of people that I really enjoy is Jan Jelinek here in Berlin, but also I saw a performance of Ulla the other day, and one of my most favorite performers also, like Bren Yasmin from Munich or E-Tape. And it's quite interesting the way how they approach it, and playing with ambience and playing with loops, and also working on how to evolve loops. And I wanted to actually show you today how I do it, and also how I did the tracks for my radio show. And the project is called WeichnesS, which is all about, being soft and gentle, especially in times like this. And I thought it would be cool to show you a little bit how I approach that. First of all, playing loop-based music means that I have to have loops, right? So I have been collecting a lot of sounds and a lot of recordings in the last couple of years, and I realized that I can all use them in a way because of how I edit them. They can really integrate into my sets or into the, let's call it more like the atmospheres I want to create. And I've also spent some time with synthesizers, recording synthesizers, playing my synthesizers like the Coco Quantus. If you guys are interested, leave me a comment below and I can show you a little bit what I'm gonna do with the Coco Quantus. But also, I'm a bass player, right? So I was like, hey, that's actually a nice idea to go back to my bass and integrate the bass playing and basically use all those loops to like organically improvise and perform them together. And also one of my biggest findings in this process was that, like, maybe some of you know this, you're at a gig and everything is perfect and they play everything perfect and there's no space and it's just about like, wow, great mastery, okay, yes, very impressive. But then at other times you are at a gig where you can't really grasp what's going on. There's so much unknown territory, and in a way I'm really fascinated by those kind of vibes because they make me imagine, like there's so much space to it also that leaves space for me to imagine something that I can never have heard with music that is already full or like that's too much. And for me, in a way, this is one element that I love in ambient music, that space and also that uncertainty and also the invitation to engage in the music and go deep, but also it's also okay if it's just playing, you don't engage. So leaving the choice up to you is a very passive and gentle element, but also once you're invited, you're actually invited to a different world, and there's this portal. And I therefore realized that a lot of times making loops also already like very silly or like small or interesting ideas can already be enough to perform them in the context of a set like this, and especially with the qualities of the Octatrack, right? We are talking now of me wanting to perform an ambient set only with the Octatrack. So all the loops are in here. I don't have any other instruments with me. So knowing what the Octatrack can do in the effects and with the LFOs and also being played live, there's a lot of there are a lot of possibilities to mingle around with like silly little loops. And I wanted to share that with you in that video, and also wanted to show you, for example, what I found. Because for me, one of the findings that I found super helpful was, first of all, how I navigate and how I organize myself in that context. Because for me, I realized there are certain elements in an ambience, in an atmosphere that I want, right? And for example, those are my folders. And you can see I have like certain atmos that can be more like atmospheres, already some synthesizers layers, very minimalistic. Like for example, like a tape loop I recorded. But also the other day, I recorded my friend's jam in a in a gallery after my performance. And you hear people talking in the background, and I really like that one. Let's check it out. For example, this one. Let's put on some reverb. See? Beautiful, right? So let's put this in a loop. So what can we put on top of here? Let's see. So I've got more field recordings, I got one-shots, I got bass loops, I have rhythm, I have patterns, and with patterns I put together sounds and atmospheres and loops that I composed together, and I found them working well together. And sometimes it's 3, sometimes it's just 2, sometimes it's 4 layers, and here I have some chimes that I recorded. Having like a compressor on the master track to, glue them all together. Playing, filtering them. Some vocals can be cute, right? Like, I'm a huge David Lynch fan, so I have found this.
And so you just stay alert, do your work, don't worry about the world going by. It doesn't mean that you can sit around and not do anything. You've got to get your butt in gear and do it. And don't take no for an answer. Translate those ideas to cinema or to a painting or to whatever. And figure out a way to get it done. And so you just stay alert, do your work, don't worry about the world going by.
So this is already a very cute atmosphere, right?
Not do anything. You've got to get your
butt in gear and do it. And don't take no for an answer. Translate those ideas to cinema.
And now I'm bringing in like a Coco Quantus looper, for example.
Whatever. And figure out a way to get it done. And so you just stay alert, do your work, don't worry about the world going by.
It's a lot of live mixing also.
Doesn't mean
Like you're really improvising with those layers,
and not do anything.
being cautious
You've got it.
of all those small little accidents. Like I'm almost sounding like Bob Ross.
And don't take no for an answer. Translate those ideas.
So, and I'm not using the sequencer, as you can see, I'm just triggering all the samples that I have in my tracks. So I'm triggering the tracks here. There are also the other ways to trigger samples. So I could go in the slots, for example, or I could use the free triggering the free samples that attach from the sequencer. I haven't really checked that out, so shout out to everybody who knows about those ones here. What are they doing and how can I play them? Please let me know, because it's still a mystery why those ones are so easy to use, but those ones are quite a mystery. Or like I heard that you can trigger samples that are detached from the sequencer, but you have to go into like free play mode. I'm not so sure about it, so let me know. So now my live set is on its way. I had this really mellow opening, and now I can go into more like drony, noisy vibe. I can filter this out. Triggering track 3. Now it's getting a bit noisier. Distortion all the way up, some delay all the way up. Taking this out, and now we are fully in the second track. This was my opening here, so now I could just stop those ones. Now this one kicks in. Cool. Nice. The nice thing is also I got my compressor quite compressing it, so you can also play with that, especially in those noisier moments. So the compressor even works the two layers together in a way. Here's the saxophone coming through. There it is. I was lying to you. Here it is. I had it really quiet. Here it is. Did you hear it? There it was. Yes. So, and I recorded like a really more white noisy rhythm. Let's see how that is, because I feel like it could be cool to have some kind of rhythmic element here. But Let's pitch it back here. Okay. There we go. Let's take out the low frequency so the drone comes through. Let's bring in the saxophone again. Woo! Woo! I love it. Wow. So what could be also a cool idea is to just, put an LFO here on the filter base and just like put it slightly there. There it was. Yeah. So I actually give space to the machine, and I give space for the machine to play. Delay on the master. This one is quite harsh. So what happens if I put DJ equalizer here and then take out the high frequencies? Making more space in the top end. And now I feel like some percussion could be cool. Like some... I don't know. I think it's this one. Let's see. Yes, here we go. See? So I kinda created different kind of loops and I'm just experimenting like very intuitively, like how I wanna improvise with them together, layering them, maybe just taking part of the loops or playing with the effects, or maybe reversing them or maybe repitching them, and it's all very, very intuitively and playful. And this is basically how I created my new ambient project, or like that's the base where I started. Yeah, and I've performed it now quite some times, and I only have the feeling that I'm slowly getting a hold on how I really want to perform and what I really want to play. So it took me some time to get used to what kind of ambient I want to play, and also what kind of loops I want to use, and what works more and what works not so good. So just making sure they don't pop when they get repeated in the Octatrack. Usually that's can be solved with like a little fade in or fade out in the end, but then also like depending on the loops, you don't want that, so a lot of detailed work. And oh, interesting, see? Happy little accidents. Yeah, and then I'm also just playing and trusting in that the Octatrack will do some work and that something will happen with those loops. And it's ambient, so it's also interesting if it's something passive, something little, doesn't have to be big things. So yeah, if you have any questions, I'm very happy to read them in the comments. If you feel like I should talk about something more, please let me know. Also, if you want to know how I'm creating things with the Coco Quantus or how I use the Coco Quantus, please let me know if you want to see that. You can also follow me on social media, Instagram. You can follow this channel. And I'm also gonna put a link of my set in below the video, so you can listen to my ambient live set called WeichnesS that came out on Fade Radio in Athens. Thank you again, Historic Elements, Cali and Pavlos. They're really lovely. And they invited me, and yeah, that was it for now. Happy to be back. Ciao.